Hello everyone, today we're making Slither.io using Google Gemini and ChatGPT to see which one is better. Let's get started with Gemini. First, we're just going to ask it to make a Slither.io clone without giving it any other instructions to see how it performs. That was quite fast. Now I'll use VS Code to run the code. This actually looks really good. Let's test it out to make sure there aren't any bugs. I just died to actual bots. That's hilarious. Wait a minute, did that snakehead just go through me, or am I hallucinating? Let me test it out again, up here. We might have a problem. Only I seem to die when I touch the other snakes, while they have a get-out-of-jail-free card every time they touch me. Let's make it so the other snakes also die when they touch me or each other. And also make it so when they die they drop food. Alright, let's put this code back into Visual Studio and test it again. Alright. The other snakes seem to be dying as originally intended. They are also dropping food, so it's easier for us to get bigger now. Looks like I'm still bad at playing the game, so let's stick to making it better. Let's add a boost feature, so when I hold down the click, I can speed up. We'll make sure you lose mass while you're boosting, so everyone doesn't abuse the mechanic. We'll also add a leaderboard so we can see when I become the biggest snake. Let's put the new code into Visual Studio and test it out. The boost feature seems to be working rather well. Let's see if we can use it to get on the leaderboard. There we go, we made it to the top of the leaderboard without breaking a sweat. Wait, what is this? It seems that a wall is missing around the boundary. Never mind. It's just invisible, let's change that. We'll make it so there is a visible red boundary around the perimeter, and you die to it if you touch it. Alright, let's run the new code. The border is now visible, and the game looks really good. Let's just test it to make sure it works. The border works perfectly as intended. Let's add some polishing touches, and our game will be done. We'll add a UI where we can name our snake, and select the color as well. Alright, let's run the new code. Wow, this UI looks quite impressive, but the color options seem a bit lackluster. Let's test the game one final time to make sure everything is working. No way, that just happened. Oh my god, not again. This is the type of luck only I would have. Alright, everything looks like it's running smoothly, and overall I think Gemini did a very good job. Let's switch to ChatGPT to see if it can outperform Gemini. Again, we will give ChatGPT a general prompt without any other instructions to see how well it can replicate the game. Let's run the code in Visual Studio to see the results. Oh wow, initially it looks like ChatGPT did a lot better job with just a simple prompt than Gemini did. We can see that it added a leaderboard right off the bat. Wait a minute, did that snake just unalive itself? I don't think that's meant to be an intended feature. But the other mechanics like snakes dying when they touch each other seems to be working well. They are also dropping food when they die, as intended. Looks like the unaliving mechanic also works on me. Let's go back and make some upgrades. We'll add a boost mechanic where you lose food as you use it. Let's run the code in Visual Studio to see the results. The boost mechanic is working well, and I'm losing food when I boost as intended. Looks like I forgot to tell GPT to remove the unaliving mechanic. Let's go back and fix that real quick. Let's run the code in Visual Studio to see the results. Alright, it seems that the unaliving mechanic has been fixed, and we can freely overlap. Looks like we have ran into another bug. When you run into the border, the respawn button doesn't appear. Let's go back and fix that. We'll make it so the border is a visible red line, and we can respawn after we die to the border. Let's also add a UI where we can pick the name of our snake in color. Let's run the code in Visual Studio to see the results. This UI looks a lot better than what Gemini came up with. It takes up the whole screen and has a nice background. The options of colors is also infinitesimal, which is a lot more than the 5 or 6 that Gemini gave us. It also displays a nice hint to help the user. Let's test the game and see if we can reach the top of the leaderboard. Looks like we made it to the top without much trouble at all. Now let's talk about each game. When we compare the games that Gemini and ChatGPT made, they were very close in quality. However, if I had to give it to one, I think ChatGPT won this one. Even when only given the simple prompt without any instructions, it was able to make a very good clone of Slither.io. It even added the leaderboard without me asking. The UI for the name and selecting the color was also done a lot better by ChatGPT. So the winner for today's video has to be ChatGPT. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more.